Morning guys, so it's day 2 of our Howdens kitchen install, and today we actually start getting our units in. So the latex is looking absolutely brilliant. So there you go, look, looking absolutely smart as anything, no ridges, no bubbles, no lumps, bumps. So I'm well chuffed with that, that's flowed out beautifully. Even in here it's looking good. So yeah, that's nice. Well happy with how that's turned out. So that's a good start to the day. We've got to lose that bit of skirting still. But I've got to get that radiator off first because there's going to be, the fridge is going there. And then they've got to pull out larder there. We've got to adjust and do something with that light switch. It'll probably go in the side of the larder unit, which is a minor issue. But yeah, other than that, we're ready to start throwing some corners in. So we'll start with these corners. Get the centre one in, get our 2 corners in. Once we get the plans out the van, come down this side, larder unit, this side, breakfast bar, happy days. Don't forget guys, if you want to see the full day's video, check out the YouTube channel. It won't go live as quick as these videos on TikTok go, because I have to edit everything together and do all my time lapse and stuff. But if you want to see the whole full day's video in one go, just get onto that YouTube channel, hit that subscribe and notification button, and keep yourself up to date with what's going on, and we'll see you soon. Cheers guys. Okay guys, so things are coming along nicely now. We've checked the floor, it's nice and flat. It's not quite level, it's just out of level. But when you consider what we were dealing with all the tile adhesive, I'm well happy with how it's turned out. It's flat, my client loves it, the threshold's gone, he's over the moon with that. So we're now literally just throwing in the cabinets, the base units. So we've got our larder, it's not fitted yet, but it's just put in place. We've got the wine cooler. We've got our first corner unit, and then we've got our hob unit, and then we've got a magic corner, and then we're going to have the dishwasher, and then the washing machine. So the next job to do is put the corner post on, which I've already done. I like to use these space plugs just to bridge it, to make sure we get a nice fixing. And then obviously the little square blocks, as you can see down there. Little square blocks just to hold the corner on, which is easy enough. So this one's going to have a socket in now to power the wine cooler. There are no wall units going here, according to the plan, which is here. So as you can see, there's no wall units, we've just got 2 here. They have marked up under cabinet lights, but they haven't supplied any. So these are going to be dead. So we're going to have to cut those out. And one of these few spurs is actually powers these. So they'd be off the ring main. So what we can do is take the faceplate off and put a single socket in its place, and then you'll have one which will be working the extractor fan. So if they go, it's not the end of the world. We just put a single socket in its place, easy job done. But yeah, it's coming along. We're getting there slowly. I think that socket is off a few spur here. So one of these will be for the boiler, and the other one's going to be for the dishwasher. So that's going to get put back in the sink unit when we're done, when we do the wiring. And then the dishwasher power and everything will go straight into this cabinet. So our next job really now is to start measuring out, squaring off, working out where our dishwasher is going to sit, and get this unit in. Get our corner post on there. There'll be a decal panel on there as well, so that it's got something to fix to. So that's my next job, is get that corner post built. So don't forget guys, like, share, follow, check out the YouTube channel, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye. Okay guys, so slowly working our way through it. The client is reusing their dishwasher, and whoever fitted it in previously did that to the foot. So I've got to somehow straighten that up and then put it back on, hopefully. So I'm going to carefully heat it and try and bend it back straight, because if I do it any other way, I'm just going to snap it and then I'll be worse off. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So this is where we're at. We've managed to sort our corner out. Now luckily the client's having stone worktops, because the measurements don't really work out otherwise. So what we've done is, because we've got these pipes here, we don't need to make any adjustments, because this corner's 20mm this way. So this worktop's going to be 20mm wider than the rest of the worktops. because I can't bring that forward because that decal panel won't hit the wall, because they're Howdens kitchen, and the decal panels are the exact width, so you can't scribe them in. So that side has to go tight to the wall. You've only got these pre-made corner posts. So you've got one there, you've got one there, and there will be another one here for the island. So what I've done, we've secured the post in using our little white blocks. We've pre-screwed white blocks to here, secured this spare decal panel in place. Now this hasn't been cut yet, and as you can see, it's off the wall. We've fixed it to the wall there, we've used a space plug there, and as you can see, the dishwasher is going to sit beautiful. We've got to change this door. This, like I say, this is the existing door. I've kept it because I need to use it as a template to secure the new one on. So that's going to go there. So we don't have to adjust that pipe work because the dishwasher is going to go in without any issues. They've got a quicker tap coming, or here. So we've got this spur, which is off of that fuse spur there, which is for the dishwasher. They're not having under cabinet lighting, and this fuse controls the under cabinet lighting. So we'll take that faceplate off, disconnect these wires, and then all we're going to do is we just chop down and we'll run a new 2.5 from there under the units round, and that will be for the cooker tap. That way everything's on a fuse spur, it's all out of the way. So there'll be two sockets in here, one will be for the dishwasher, one will be for the cooker tap. So that's the plan going forward there. The wine cooler, we've got to put a socket in down there. Luckily the cables are already exposed behind. But yeah, we're starting to get, we are taking shape. It's slow going today because there's been a lot of stopping and starting, rethinking. We've had to adjust that waste pipe over slightly. Now, some of you are going to say, why don't I just core a new hole outside? And there's a good reason why we don't, and I will show you. This is the front door. This is the front of the house. And as you can see, they've already butchered the brickwork. So if I take that out and come over and core a new hole, there's still going to be a pipe outside. So I'm trying to minimise any more damage to the brickwork out here. So it's got a very slight fall going that way. And then we're going to come in. We can't go any lower or any higher because it won't meet the waist. We've already measured it out. So I'm just going with what I can do basically. But it's only a short piece. And what I might do when I come through the cabinet, I might put a T on here and put a rodding access so they can rod that if they need to. So I can just put a blank inspection chamber bit on it, and they can get a rod in. If they ever need to rod it, they can rod it from this side. So that's probably what I'll do there, just as a precaution. You got to do what you got to do at the end of the day, because there's an island going here. But there, that's where we've got to. Probably going to have to raise that stop tap up, so we need to turn the mains off outside, which is going to be interesting to find because of the way this is all situated. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. So stay tuned, guys, and don't forget, like, share, follow, subscribe to that YouTube channel, and check out all my other videos, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Okay guys, so we are now going to shut the mains off out in the street. We're going to change this stop tap because it's pretty knackered. And we're going to put a nice 15mm full bore lever valve on. And then we've got some 15mm full bore isolator valves for the hot and the cold. So the first job we're going to do is cut these and lengthen them. So we're going to cut these off, lengthen as they come into the unit. Oh. Alright, so whip these off. These flexible buckets, they're absolutely must have. I don't care what anyone says. If you want to grab one, guys, they're in my
Which one, in the middle? Or
no, to that side, yeah, no, down lower. That's it, about there. That's an air in. Plug the place while we're at it. Right. Like I'm running out of cleaning strips. Clean the pipe off. straight couplers, bit of flux. Pipe. Literally going to add a couple of straights on just so we can get it into the cabinet. I'm not going mad with it. And then once the cabinet's in place, I'll then solder some elbows on and some isolators. Bit of lead-free solder. A little while longer to do that one because of the there's a bit of water in the pipe, that's why I had to have it on a bit hotter to heat the pipe up. It's only surface water, but still a pain in the back. Alright, just crack these nuts off on this stop tip. Raise the earth strap up.
No, there's not a socket down there.
I know there ain't, it's in the cupboard, it will be in the cupboard when I do
Oh,
it.
in the cupboard. So I'm going
Through the decal panel on the side.
yeah, doing inside, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. First shot, later. That's me. That's it is. What have I done with it? The compound PI. Oh, that way.
In front of you.
In front of me, as it always is. A little bit of compound on me olive, and there, like so. Okay, going to wind a bit of tissue up because we need to get the pipe out, the water out of the pipe. Just going to put that in there and soak up some of the water that's in there still. Okay, I'm going to use my olive puller to pull this old olive off. Hopefully it's not brass. It doesn't look brass, you can normally tell. You just wind that onto the compression nut. It's like you were doing it up normally. And you just wind it. Gosh, I reckon that's the brass. Yeah, that's brass. They ain't coming off. That's just the problem. Olive pullers are great until you come across one of the old brass olives, and then what happens then when you try and pull it, I can see it already, it stretches the pipe. Actually, I'm going to take it off. This is actually a good educational moment, so what I will do, I'm actually going to do it, because it isn't going to matter because I've got to cut it off anyway. One of the blokes I follow, SVR, he was doing a video on this the other day, and I said to him about removing brass olives. So this will be a good example of why you have to be careful. This is how stiff they can be for a start. But it does not want to come off. And what happens is, I don't think I'm going to pull it. Let's see if it shows any damage now. I think you may be able to see that. Let's have a look. I don't know if you can see that, but that's because it's a brass olive, and you can see here where it started stretching the pipe. So if you had pulled that olive all the way off, you can see it there as well, where it's flattened it, trying to lift it. So these are great bits of kit, the olive pullers. These are great bits of kit, but until you come across a brass olive, and you will not get it off without damaging the pipe. So as the old saying goes, guys, you learn something new every day. I've known this for a while, and I have told a few people about it, but they've never come across it. So now that I've come across it again, you know, it's good to do a video on it, because then people who didn't believe me or wasn't sure about it will know for a fact. The brass olives will not pull off, only the copper olives. So on these older pipe work like this, you will struggle. So I'm going to have to try and heat that, which is going to be a nightmare, because there's still quite a bit of water in that. I could get the wet vac out and try and suck some of it out. Try and sweat this one off. There we go, sweat it off. So now we can put a nice new one on there. New straight coupler on that. We can get a bit of pipe to go there. Where's my pipe? It'll be fun getting this in here actually. It goes in. Plenty of flux. That's a bit warm that. You just have to trim that up. Let's get it soldered in first. Should. And then we get the hole that I need. Back in now. Damage on the end of the pipe. If in doubt, cut a new piece. Not sure how, I didn't notice it. At the end of this pipe is all gummed up. So We'll get there in a minute. Oh, a bit of pipe on your head. Hands. Wipe the excess flux off. Sorry guys, I had to go to the van to get me cleaning strips. Is that sealed? When you got a minute, Ricky, it's at the main, mate. Slowly. No more luck, I'm just going to piss out water. Do it slowly, Ricky, yeah? Yeah, slowly. Right, it looks good, mate. So it all looks good. I must admit, I'm not going to lie, I was a bit worried about that one. Soldering onto old pipes is always a heart-wrenching moment. Alright, so we've raised the stopcock, that's now accessible. We've got a nice lever valve instead of the old-fashioned. And that's going to make isolating the water so much better. So now we should be able to start fitting the unit. Should be able to get the unit in here now. Now I made a right palaver of that, which shouldn't have been that difficult. But it always happens when you're trying to film yourself, and I'm not going to edit it. I might crop some of the waiting around while I go to the van bits out, but the general video itself won't be edited. Because everyone has issues and has problems, and it's how you deal with them that makes the job go sweet. So we've got no leaks down there now, up to my isolator. So I'm going to get the unit in and go from there, really. That's what we can do at the minute. I might put some push fits on, just pressure test my two straight couplers. It's probably not a bad idea. And then once it's pressurised, I can turn the mains off again. Okay, so we put those on. So nice and slow, so we don't get. I've got a tap on in here, so that's why I turn that off, doesn't it? So I was helping it drain down. That should now repressurise. toilet fill up. Okay, toilet's been filled back up, so the mains is on. They're now under pressure, so I can now shut it off. We'll leave it like that. I'm always paranoid about doing this when you're dealing with the mains pipe, because if I go away tonight, I might actually shut it off in the street tonight, just as a precaution. Because the last thing we want is that popping tonight overnight, which is very, very unlikely that's going to happen. But my OCD and my paranoia will not let me just leave that overnight. So what I'm going to do, once I've got all this cabinet in and in the right place and levelled, what I'm going to do is I will then put bends on those, isolators on those, repressurise, and then what I'm going to do overnight, I will turn the mains off outside, and then I'll have a pressure gauge on in here as well, and then that'll tell me if the pressure's dropped. Because this is a combi boiler, I've only got to put the pressure gauge on one of them, and if that pressure drops because there's a leak, that means there's a problem with my mains feed. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'll have a pressure gauge on here tonight, just for peace of mind. That's all it is, guys. I'm very paranoid about water, and the last thing I want is a customer having an issue with a flood. So just me being me, as a precaution, we're going to do a pressure test, leave it overnight with the mains off, and hopefully tomorrow that'll all be good, and then we can just leave the mains on then the rest of the week, and I'll be happy. Don't forget, guys, like, share, follow, subscribe to that YouTube channel, and I'll see you soon. Okay. I'm going to use my olive puller to pull this old olive off. Hopefully it's not brass. It doesn't look brass, you can normally tell. And you just wind that onto the compression nut. It's like you were doing it up normally. And you just wind. Gosh, I reckon that's the brass. Yeah, that's brass. It ain't coming off. That's just the problem. Olive pullers are great until you come across one of the old brass olives, and then what happens then, when you try and pull it, I can see it already, it stretches the pipe. Actually, I'm going to take it off. This is actually a good educational moment, so what I will do, I'm actually going to do it. It isn't going to matter, because I've got to cut it off anyway. One of the blokes I follow, SVR, he was doing a video on this the other day, and I said to him about removing brass olives. So this will be a good example of why you have to be careful. This is how stiff they can be for a start. But it does not want to come off. And what happens is, I don't think I'm going to pull it. Let's see if it shows any damage now. I think you may be able to see that. Let's have a look. I don't think you can see that, but that's because it's a brass olive, and you can see here where it started stretching the pipe. So if you had pulled that olive all the way off, you can see it there as well, where it's flattened it, trying to lift it. So these are great bits of kit, the olive pullers. These are great bits of kit, but until you come across a brass olive, and you will not get it off without damaging the pipe. So as the old saying goes, guys, you learn something new every day. I've known this for a while, and I have told a few people about it, but they've never come across it. So now that I've come across it again, you know, it's good to do a video on it, because then people who didn't believe me or wasn't sure about it will know for a fact the brass olives will not pull off, only the copper olives. So on these older pipe work like this, you will struggle. Okay guys, so a little how-to when it comes to cutting your holes for your pipes and stuff. It's quite straightforward. It's a bit of a no-brainer really, but this is how. So push it up to your pipe, and then literally what you're going to do is just going to get your pencil, draw around your pipe like so. Now you've got to do this 2 or 3 times. So I've drawn around that one, but as you can see we're a bit off the wall with them ones. So we'll pull it out, cut that hole, and then move it in again, mark them ones, and then mark for the stop tap. Now, I always recommend going with a hole cutter bigger than what you need, so that you get a little bit of movement in your pipe. Now these are only thin back, so go through with your drill bit, your pipe, then go from the other side, like that, and then cut the rest of it out. That prevents blowout. When you look on this side, you can see how rough that cut is. See how rough that cut is? That's called blowout. So if you was to go through from this side, you would blow all the veneer and the finished edge off the other side. So always go through from this side a little ways, then come back through from the other side. So let's get the other two pipes marked up, get this unit in. Alright, so same process, exactly the same process again. Push it up, make sure it's in the right place. Marking out for your pipes. This time we're going to go with a slightly smaller hole cutter. But I've got to stop, I've got a push fit cap on these pipes, so I've got to make sure I use a hole cutter big enough for those. So again, penetrate from this side, and then drill through from the other. Like that. So now, should slide all the way in. I've got to cut a notch out there for the pipe. The rest of the pipe should be alright because we're coming off the wall about 20 mil on this side. So that make it all work properly. So we will cut a little chunk out of there with the jiggy. Just cut that little bit out. Like so. Now what we've got to do now is to try and work out where our mains is. That's there, and there. Go back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure down to roughly the centre of my stop tap. It's quite easy to do because it's just there. Now get a measurement of 570. And then we can come down with my pencil. 570. It's up there somewhere. And I've got my marks where I need them now, so I can cut a nice serviceable hole with my big hole cutter. So that's my centre line. That's the pivot point. Now you've got to bear in mind it's a lever valve, so it's going to go up like that. So we want to come just off centre with our hole, making sure we can get on that lever valve. Now, fingers crossed I've done it right. Let's have a look. So we bang on our lever valve, which is there. So we might just go and have a little hole outside just to get on it properly. So all we're going to do now is we're going to make sure that's all square where we need it. Fix it to the wall, and then we can start working on our part of our island. And then we're golden. Don't forget guys, like, share, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, so we're just squaring up our sink unit. What we're doing, we're going to go flush here, flush there, make sure it's all sitting square there, sitting square there, That way then we know we're pretty much good on that wall. We will take some measurements off of there just to make sure we're not bending out ridiculously, because we may have to make some alterations. We may have to loosen the bolt on that fitting, and we may have to just kick it in a tad. But that's all about tweaking it, which is what we're going to do now. But if that's all set, we will then put an L bracket there, an L bracket there. This worktop's going to be wider, because as I explained earlier, because of these corners are pre-made in Howdens, you're obligated, you're restricted basically. If their decal panels were 20mm wider than they need to be, then we could have pulled all this over 10mm, scribed that in, pulled all that over 10mm, and then we would have had 10mm there, 10mm there. We could have come off the wall 10mm, and we'd have had exactly the same size worktop all the way around. But if we do that, we'll end up with a 10mm gap on our decal panel there, 10mm gap on there, and this side wouldn't have mattered. It's a breakfast bar. So we've had to go with what there is. So we've had to push all that tight to the wall so that the scribe's perfect, which means all that goes tight to the wall, all that goes tight to the wall, and then this gap is bigger, so we're off the wall too much to get it to work. So we've pulled it all forward. They're having stone worktops, so it won't matter. As long as the overhang's the same, they won't notice a 20mm difference in the worktop's width. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. So stay tuned. It's getting late now. It's 2 o'clock, so if I can get this fixed in and get the breakfast bar worktop island part sort of in place roughly where it's got to go, I'll be happy. Then tomorrow we finish all the base units, phone the stone bloke, get him out for templating on Wednesday or Thursday. Hopefully then we can get the stone pushed in. We may get his kitchen finished by the end of next week if I get the stone done. But we will see. So stay tuned, guys. Bye bye. How we doing, guys? So a few weeks back, you may remember, take the glasses off, I recommended the Lumberjacks pocket hole jig. Well, I finally get to use it today, believe it or not. It's been a while, but I've got it all set up, and this is what it's all about. And this, I've got to say, guys, is the bollocks of a pocket hole jig. So much, it's far superior to the Trend one I had. Check out my previous video, and I did a comparison to the Trend pocket hole jig, just the basic one. The Trend one in Toolstation was nearly 90 quid. Now I believe this one's about 50 quid, 49.99, something like that, 50 quid, 60 quid. It's a lot cheaper and far, far superior. So out of the box, obviously I haven't got the box anymore because I've repackaged mine because for use at work. So out of the box, you get 2 drill bits. One is a push fit for your hex, your impact driver. I'd never use a hex, that one. You get 2 bit drivers. These are square head, because they're square head screws. You get 2 of those, a small one and a long one. You get your Allen key. Your Allen key is to stop your, is for your depth stop. So you put your depth stop in. So I've already preset my depth stop. And here's the jig. So I've already got it set up. Comes with these supports as well. So when I'm doing a big panel like this, I get perfect support. It's got a dust extraction part on the back. My Hoover just sits on it. It's not brilliant, but it will help clear the dust out. So when I'm using it, I can just turn that on, leave it, and just do me holes. So I'm putting this bit of timber in here because I've got a undermount sink going in. So I'm putting it in there to create a brace for the undermount sink. So I want to pocket hole jig it, screw it from underneath. So we're just going to screw these now. As you can see, it's clamped in, it ain't going nowhere. So I want to put at least 3 on here. And now, release. You can actually hear the difference in the suction. You can actually hear the suction difference. There you go, guys. Perfect pocket holes. You can't fault this kit. You really cannot fault it. For the price, it is a must-have bit of kit. thing I will say though, guys, when you're setting your jig up, be careful, because, come around this side, Ricky. If you look, when you do your pocket holes, you don't want to be drilling through the base plate here. So make sure you set your depth to the right depth. But other than that, absolute spot on bit of kit, you cannot go wrong. So don't forget guys, hit that basket if you want to grab one, and I'll see you soon. Okay guys, so got our corner unit in, and I'm just getting ready to sort out the sink because it's under mount. So what we're going to do is, or what we've done is we've put a bit of ply in, we've pocket hole screwed it from underneath both sides. We've cut out our sink, we've allowing for the centre post. Because we bought our units forward a cut to about 20mm, we've got room still for the tap. So what we've done is we've then screwed this along the back to re-secure the unit, and we've cut that slot out. Because if anybody knows, when you put this damn stone on, the stone will cut the hole here, and it'll be behind the back panel, and you won't be able to get to your pipes for your second fit. At least this way, my overflow is going to go in. And when they do the hole, I will cut a hole here and put a temporary tap in eventually. And all I do is I'll come back the day of the stone, whip that tap out, they put the stone on, I'll drop it back in it, it'll all be connected in it, it'll all be pucker. So let's drop the sink in. Alright, so this is a Frankie sink, and as you can see here, it's got these little springs. So what you do is they push in and they will lock. This sink will then be locked in place. Just like that, it ain't going nowhere. Now we can put the overflow in, and the overflow is just going to come up through the back like that and be screwed in place like so. That's our overflow in, nice and easy, little Allen key. Put our Frankie badge back on. There's always fiddly little things. In you go. There she goes. That's the Frankie badge in. Now all we've got to do now is connect our overflow to our waste, which is nice and simple. It's just push fit. And now with the Frankie ones, you can actually see the grey pipe. Make sure you're pushing it in all the way, and then you put your little seal on top, your little foam gasket. Drop the top on. Drop your bolt through. Now I know you see all these guys smothering these things in silicone, and I'm not going to lie, I never use silicone. I've never had one leak in all the years I've been doing it. As long as you don't over tighten everything. I use an old blunt chisel just to tighten it up. Make sure it's centered. There you go, the waste is in, and I'm a bit OCD. I like to get the flat screwdriver section bit sort of square. And that's it, that's that bit done. Now we can cut a hole in now, and we could drop our tap in if we wanted to and bolt it to that, but I'm not concerned about that right now. But that's the undermount sink in place. We can connect the waste up, and then that'll be a usable sink. Don't forget guys, like, share, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye. Okay guys, I'm done, my back's done. It's the joys of getting old, you don't do the hours you used to do. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress. The sink's in, I've cut a hole for the tap. I made the hole for the tap bigger because I'm not going to mount that tap. I'm actually going to put their old tap back in just for now, tomorrow sometime, just to give them a working sink until the worktop goes in. And then when the worktop's done, I can drop the right tap in and get on with it. So this is what we got done. So this island's in, solid. It's all connected up. We've got returns on our corners, so all our corners are nicely secured. Like I say, it's in, and I can get to it. If I take the waste out and the overflow, I can get my hand up through the hole that I made, which is up there, as you can see. So I can get my hand up there when the stone's in to bolt it all together. So it's all forward thinking. The sink is in, just need to connect the waste, that's not an issue. Dishwasher just needs to be levelled and mounted. Again, not an issue, we can get that done. The drawers are in, that door's on. We left that door off because we've got cables and stuff to sort out and drop some bits down still. But yeah, we're getting there. The larder's in place, not in. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot, but it's a lot of thinking had to go on today because there was things I wasn't aware of. I didn't know they were the cooker tap. So I've got to run a power supply for that. I have to confirm they're not having under cabinet lights. I don't think they are. There's nothing here, no LEDs or anything. So that tells me they're not. So then I can reuse one of the fuse spurs, just drop a new cable, run it round, and that'll feed the quicker tap. And then the other fuse spur will run the dishwasher. So that would be that sorted. There'll be no issues. The cooker and the hob wires are all good. So other than that, really, tomorrow we will get the breakfast bar back panel on and the decor panel on. I'd like to get the floor laid before they go down, but we're still waiting on the flooring. So if the flooring turns up tomorrow, now before I do that, then I will lay the flooring, because it'll make my life a lot easier putting the rest of these decor panels in place, that's for sure. But we will see what happens. If need be, I can always take them off and trim them. It's not the end of the world. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, but it is what it is. But anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Don't forget, like, share, follow, and check out the old YouTube channel. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.